I lost close to $2 million, and it's worth every penny to get divorced when you're not happy in your relationship. 45 pages affidavit was written against me of bad things, of how I was a menace to society. 45 pages. Who can write 45 pages of bad lies about somebody else?
A lot of what you think is love is not love. It's the white stuff that comes out of your tunnel. That's what you think love is.
Do you say yourself getting married again?
I don't recommend any man to ever get married on paper, under a law. You want to get married? Go married at church. That's it, period.
One thing that I would love to see is paternity test. If someone gets caught lying, fine, $1,000. But hold on. Those fines are not going to the judge or to the court system. Let's put it in a trust in the kid's name. My name is Dr. Roger Avila. I'm a dentist in Toronto. I'm the writer of Before the Tsunami. I wrote this book really for my two boys because I saw how society is decomposing and changing drastically, and it's totally against men in this world. So here I am trying to help once again to more men in the world. Before the Tsunami is available on Amazon, soft copy, hard copy, and audio version.
Welcome to another episode of the Punches and Prayers podcast. Today I have a very special guest, a very educated guest. He's a dentist by his profession, has 3 practices in Toronto, and then also he went through a tragic divorce and is still going through it. And in the process he wrote a book, and this book is out there to help men. He's also a person who saw what's happening to society today, and I was introduced to him by my brother to have him on the podcast today for you guys, and we're going to go talk to him about his story, his life, and what he sees is happening in today's world. And I think it's going to be a very, very insightful conversation. We're going to talk about business, we're going to talk about success, we're going to talk about failures, and we're going to talk about what men need to do to protect themselves in order to maximize their success, because a woman can ruin your life in today's world, and she has the liberty to do so. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Dr. Roger Avila.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, did I say it right? Avila?
Yes.
So for the audience, doctor, who don't know you, tell me a little bit about yourself, like where you grew up, what's your background, and how do you get here?
I was born in Cuba back in 1973. I'm 52 years old. I came to Canada when I was 27 years old. I didn't know English. I had to requalify to become a dentist in Canada. I started literally from scratch, zero. I built an empire of 3 dental offices. I'm a very well-known doctor in the Etobicoke area in Toronto. Very good reputation, very good at what I do. Sadly, I lost most of it to divorce.
Do you do surgeries as well or no?
We do veneers, we do crowns, we do every aspect of dentistry.
So I just had my wisdom tooth removed last year. I could have come to you.
You could.
I need my other one removed soon.
It's okay, next time.
Yeah, it was pretty deep. Like the guy was about to give up. He's like, we might have to like put you away. Yeah. And I said, no, I'm already in pain. Might as well get this done. But it's so painful taking that stuff out. I'm 35 now. I took it out like last year. I'm 34. All my other brothers did it like way before, but I just waited until it really was bad. And then I did it, yeah. So doctor, you have an interesting story about life and things that you've seen. For the people that don't know, how old are you exactly?
Yeah? I'm 52.
Wow, you look good for your age.
Thank you.
And you said you've been going through a divorce in the past 6 years.
7.5 years exactly.
And what's taking so long?
What's taking so long? The thing is that the law is designed to dig, and find as much as possible to take. And that's what happens. Someone could come from a poor background, and when I say poor, it could be a waitress, it could be someone who does not make as much as a doctor, an engineer, or an entrepreneur, and you welcome to a person like that in your life, and automatically that person becomes as wealthy as you. This is why this is an eye-opener for anyone. This book is an eye-opener for anyone who could read how bad could it be. And I feel like guys these days, especially successful guys, are walking towards the slaughterhouse and they don't even know what they're doing. They think about love, lost, she's hot, she's beautiful, I met her at a club, and wow, I'm gonna make this woman now a wife, I'm gonna have kids. So if you don't realize, you're actually changing that person's life forever, especially when the law is on their side, not on your side.
So I also have I wrote a book called Masculinity on Trial, Beating a System Meant to Break You. So I wrote a book I also have a program as well called the Enlightened Men. It's basically out there for men like this. I tell them a lot of what you think is love is not love. It's the white stuff that comes out of your tunnel. That's what you think love is.
Is it you who says you're not in love, you're in law?
I said that.
You say that, right?
I did say that too. Yeah. At the end of the day, I mean, I went through the ringer myself. I had fake breaches done on me. A systematic way of tarnishing my reputation. But with God's grace, I didn't end up in getting sentenced or anything like that. I didn't get any jail time like that. I just had charges that I had to fight in court. And my story is not even that bad. There's some guys, man, like in my men's group, I run a men's group. There's some crazy stories, bro. There's guys with rape charges on them, fake rape charges, raping your own daughter. There's guys with charges like that. And they get destroyed, bro. Like imagine somebody telling you that you raped, and then the daughter testifies in court 2 years later after the guy served the jail time saying my mom lied. My dad never did this to me. Like, can you imagine there's women like this that exist? And they're encouraged to do this.
Yeah.
They're encouraged to do this, right? All of us guys ignore the warning signs. I had enough warning signs to understand that they will pull this. I just couldn't believe that somebody that you slept with would do this to you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's where I come from. You call the cops, that's a snitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't no...
Yeah. Well, actually, in my book, I have one of the chapters.
Can I put the mic closer to you a little bit? Yeah, just so that it gets... There you go.
In one of the chapters of my book, I talk about mate selection. So if someone has a high body count, don't go for that one. If someone has tattoos all over, don't go for that one. I'm sorry if I'm, generalizing or anything like that. If someone has a history, if someone has a history of daddy issues, if someone has even diseases in the family that could be transmitted to your kids, right? So if you marry someone who has a disease that could be inherited by your kids, what are you doing even wasting that person's time? Just move on, find someone who's healthier.
Daddy issues is big. Let me tell you that one. So my ex-wife that I married, her mother did the same thing to her father, kicked the father out of the children's lives. And they haven't spoken to their father for like 8 or 10 years, like my ex-wife and her brother. And that was a huge red flag that I always used to ask. I'm like, yo, like, why don't you talk to your father? Blah, blah, blah. And you know what the answer would be like, you don't know what he did. He cheated on my mom. So what? That doesn't erase the relationship you have with him. He was there with you. He raised you until you were 18, 19, and then whatever he did, he did. But you don't know, Okay. And the crazy thing is before I got married to her, I introduced her to my dad one last time. I just wanted my dad to give me the verdict. And bro, in all honesty, doctor, you know what my dad said after meeting with her for like a couple hours? Oh, she's a whatever girl, it's just a girl you can marry, but I don't recommend it. And I'm like, why? He said, because she doesn't have her father in her life. The moment you have a kid with this broad, she will do the same thing that her mother did. He said it exactly those things. Exact wording.
It's funny.
And it's exact same thing happened. You know what I'm saying? It's the exact same thing happened with all these fake allegations. You see it in court, man. When my trial was happening and I was getting sentenced, quote unquote, but it turned into like some trial thing. Fake white woman tears, fake this and saying, how can I expect to raise a kid with him? Like I'm some like demon or something. You know what I mean? Like just trying to use like cheap, like grimy, like no self-respect for yourself even. Like what are you doing on camera at a Zoom call? So when I even heard that, I'm like, yo, who was I even married to?
Yeah.
Like this is, first of all, you're a snitch. Like I can't believe I slept with a snitch. Like to me, that's disgusting. Yeah. That I slept with a snitch back in the day. Where I come from, snitches don't get any respect.
Yeah.
Right? We come from the streets. Snitches don't get any respect.
Yeah.
And somebody who did to that extent. But I remember even when I called my dad about this and I said, yo, this is what's happening. He said, well, I told you this was going to happen. What'd you expect? Yeah. He wasn't even shocked.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Everyone that met my ex told me, don't marry her.
Yeah, same shit.
We just don't listen. Boys.
We think with our penis.
And guys, we just don't listen. If we just listen to our brothers, to our fathers, we just don't make as many mistakes. And I'm here to tell my kids, if you ever bring someone home and I tell you, don't do it, it's because I saw more than you. Not because I know more than you, it's because I'm older than you and have seen more than you.
Every man thinks it won't happen to him until it does. You give your heart, your time, your money, and one day you realize that the system was never built for you. If you're a man living in the West, dating, married, or walking away from a marriage, you're playing in a game that's rigged against you. The Enlightened Man isn't just another course, it's a program and it's a blueprint for your survival. I've been through it myself, and I've coached many men who've lost everything and helped them rebuild stronger, smarter, and more dangerous. This program shows you how to protect your peace, your assets, and your freedom. It teaches you about the laws, the mindset, and the moves you need to win in a world that profits off your mistakes. Whether you're in a relationship or preparing for one, this will shift how you think forever. Become the man who can't be manipulated. Become the man who sees through this trap. Become the Enlightened Man today. Click the link in the bio or description, and I'll see you on the other side. What I don't get is, how is it fair for a broad to come in your life, you improve the quality of her life, you give her, you pay the rent, you pay all the mortgage or whatever, you pay the expenses. And then when she decides to leave you, she gets to decide to take all your money as if she had any skin in the game. For me, what doesn't make sense is what these broads don't understand. For example, my situation, or a lot of men's situation, our businesses are feeding families, bro. Mm-hmm. My business feeds 60 employees, right? These employees are going to get affected if you come after this business, which I built. And I was gracious enough to give you this life, the nice vacations and all that. Now, if you decide to leave and not be a part of my life, go like a real gangster. And since so many of these women talk about how they're self-made and I'm going to be this girl boss, go actually be a girl boss instead of taking it from your ex-husband. And here's the crazy part. Any of these broads that I've seen take money from their ex-husbands, they were never able to do anything with it because God is also just... You can't multiply what you took from somebody else.
No, you can't.
You can only multiply what you built and you know organically how to build. So even then, khalas, let's say they want to take it. I've never seen them turn it into something.
No.
Even then.
They'll waste it.
Right? They'll waste it on dumb shit, on fucking getting boobs or whatever.
Now, one very important aspect that I want to touch on. So my name is Avila, right? So now my wealth changed name because it went to somebody else's last name, right? Now this person marries somebody else, and my wealth, something that I built, switch hands, in just with one signature. Done. Transfer from here to here. And I think the word that we should use with these women is gratitude. Have some gratitude that someone at this level brought you up for 5-6 years, gave you all he could, and then you decided to walk out of the relationship because boys and guys, 80% of marriages are called by the women.
Correct.
No, guys, we built, we want to stay, we want to have a family. No, not many men really want to destroy their family. So sadly, society has pushed women to decide, you know what, how much do I have to lose? If the question would be, how much do I have to lose, instead of how much am I winning by divorcing this man, women will think twice before they make that huge decision, which is humiliating, is destructive, and it changes many, many men's life.
That's the crazy part. And it's like all these lies that you see about them after, like, so many lies I can talk about on and on and on, right? Like the house I was living in before, that I used to share with my ex-wife, she at one time was smoking weed on the patio and dropped the weed bud on the patio, and the thing was on fire. So the patio was on fire, and we had a dog. And this dog I'm like upstairs praying one night, and I'm like, hey, look, I think the patio's on fire, or something's happening. There's some kind of smoke coming. Oh, there's no smoke, while she's high in her bed, right? And I go downstairs, I see smoke everywhere. I go pour water, whatever, and poor dog. And now it's crazy, like in disclosures and stuff, I have proof of all these texts and stuff. So their stupid lawyer that they hired is like, because when I moved houses, I'm like, I'm going to expense this, that you guys have to pay for this. I'm not paying this month's expenses for my daughter because there's a credit that I could just show you that the landlord took from me because we burned this patio, $200. Oh no, that never happened. I'm like, let me not expose this in court because I have a proof of all of this, right? Then they back off. But it's crazy to see that when the coin changes on these broads on their way, they chicken out. They're not like for example, us men, I can walk into a courtroom, be straight up. yeah, my marriage was sexless. I freaking cheated on my wife, and guess what? I moved on. It's all good.
It is what it
cool.
is.
I'm not going after her money. I'm gonna build myself. Do they have the same balls? They never do, but they act like they run the world and girl boss and this, that. I can go straight openly and I don't give a shit because at the end of the day, it's like, it is what it is. But I'm my own man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How many of these women can say that, right? And most men, right? Like in Ontario, it doesn't matter whether you cheat or not or whatever it is. The divorce is a divorce at the end of the day. The question really is most of these men are tolerating these women in sexless marriages, rather be in that and suffer inside than go. For me, I'd rather burn it all and build it all from scratch than be in a marriage like that. Yeah. What do you say?
I lost close to $2 million and it's worth every penny to get divorced when you're not happy in your relationship, right? In my case, a 45 pages affidavit was written against me of bad things, of how I was a menace to society, how aggressive, how dangerous I was. I shouldn't even be allowed in the street because I could be a danger for any citizen. 45 pages. Who can write 45 pages of bad lies about somebody else, right? And that's just an example. And for those that are going through maybe a separation or a divorce or anything like that, please keep your hands behind your back. When you talk to these women, keep your hands behind your back. Do not push a door. Do not grab a hand. Do not do anything that they could, for some reason, use against you. In Toronto and, in Canada and the US, there's something called the silver bullet, which is what these women, or sometimes men, I don't know exactly, but most women call and they say, this guy did this to me. Whatever it is, he grabbed my wrist, right? He punched me, he pushed me, he kicked the door. And that is enough to remove you from your house. From your house, the house you're paying mortgage, the house you're paying utilities and all that. So this is, in part of my book, I describe something called the Capite Medusa. If you are in that position where you're removed from the place you're paying mortgage and all that, next day you go to the bank and you stop that mortgage. And if someone tells you you're gonna ruin her credit, your credit,
fuck that.
You know what? You lost your family. What's more important? Your credit is more important than your family. Just go out there, close that mortgage and say, you know what? Put the house for foreclosure. I want half. Simple.
Rebuild, right? Like for me, I'm always about building. I've lost, millions of dollars in business, not in divorce yet, in business. And I've rebuilt about a couple $100,000 in divorce and in lawyers. These lawyers are so like, this is the thing that these women don't get. They hire these fancy lawyers who are just milking them dry.
Yes.
Milking them, right? Milking them. Like I actually feel bad for my ex and her family. She's milking her mother's money. Right? Like, but our mother's the type of woman that will mortgage her house if she has to, just to go after a man. That's the type of woman she is.
That's painful.
Yeah.
Funny that you touch on that because in my book.
Let me tell you one more thing about her mother, just to put it on record. One time back in the day, one of her mother's friends was cheating, and she was helping to stalk the ex, the husband or boyfriend of that woman that was cheating. And that's the same allegation they try to put on me, that I'm a criminal harassment, that I'm stalking the daughter of a crime that she was already committing. Yeah. Which is the craziest thing about this woman. You know what I'm saying?
So in my book, I describe one of the chapters is called "Everyone Benefits from Divorce." From lawyers are the worst. Like seriously, they I know it's a profession, but I think it's a dirty profession when it comes to family law. The bankers, the audits, the accountants, everyone benefits, including the next person that comes into her life or his life. Because now, if she works, she has a salary. She has the new salary of this guy who is in her life, and now she has alimony and child support. You actually improve this person's life twice. So it's just a chain reaction that we need to stop somehow. I think alimony should be suspended. Seriously, it's just a ripoff, because in this world, women are getting married just for the alimony, 100%.
Man, I have friends that are police officers, correctional officers that are part of the system, and their pensions are going to 3 ex-wives.
Yep.
Bro, I know. You know when you see a police officer work at the station or on the street, an old guy just still at the force, you know why he's working? He's paying 3 ex-wives because the pension isn't enough to retire now.
It's painful.
Right? Painful. That's one thing. But I always think the smart, like for example, I never had shared bank accounts. Never. When my ex-wife was asking how much you make, I'm like, are the bills paid? Is the meat in the fridge? You got your pocket money? Cool, that's all you need to know. She still doesn't know what I made, what I didn't.
Great.
And that's the way I like it. And I will never tell or share a bank account with a woman, period. That's the most dumbest thing I see guys do, like, oh, we have shared accounts and this. You know, so when I was going through divorce, right? How I came about this program and everything I do is, I was like, I need data. So what I first started was I started a boxing group. It was in my other house, in the house that I used to have with her. But she left in her mother's house, so I had it to myself. And so first I built a boxing gym in my basement. Similar style, but a little bit different. And I would have millionaires come and tell me their stories. Then I would sit in family court every Thursday morning. You have no idea how many millionaires I've seen where the divorce happened, the ex-wife is living in the house, emptied the entire bank account, and this millionaire doesn't even have the money to represent himself in court on the fake charges that he was put through. And there were so many times the judge was crying, saying, because he knows who this person is, reputable person, like, listen, if you don't get a lawyer, I have to keep you in the holding cell. Because every time you go inside, it's 20 G's. Like, I went in 3 times, 20 G's to come out, right? So it's like, it's a joke, a circus, and a money-making machine. And so when I saw that, I'm like, how are these guys even doing this? How can you like trust a woman with money? I never trusted my ex with money. She never trusted herself with money. Forget about me, right? And there's tons of like conversation now, like, oh, you were such a smart man and this, that. They say that when you're married. Obviously, They're never going to say that now. I'm the retard, I'm this. I'm okay with it. Cool. I know what I did. I know what I did. There's receipts.
Do you say yourself getting married, gang?
On paper, never. Every man thinks it won't happen to him until it does. You give your heart, your time, your money, and one day you realize that the system was never built for you. If you're a man living in the West, dating, married, or walking away from a marriage, you're playing in a game that's rigged against you. The Enlightened Man isn't just another course, it's a program and it's a blueprint for your survival. I've been through it myself, and I've coached many men who've lost everything and helped them rebuild stronger, smarter, and more dangerous. This program shows you how to protect your peace, your assets, and your freedom. It teaches you about the laws, the mindset, and the moves you need to win in a world that profits off your mistakes. Whether you're in a relationship or preparing for one, this will shift how you think forever. Become the man who can't be manipulated. Become the man who sees through this trap. Become the Enlightened Man today. Click the link in the bio or description, and I'll see you on the other side. For the record, I don't want to say it, but let's say if I am married or not, I don't recommend any man to ever get married on paper. Under a law. You want to get married? Go married at church. That's it, period. Because let's say you get a prenup. Even prenups, man, it still takes forever to contest it, right? You still have to go through the divorce procedure, and that can be forever. If at least you were just with a cohab agreement, because cohab agreement is the same thing as a prenup.
Yeah.
You get a cohab agreement, your common law, bro, you kick the broad out and the cohab agreement stays. But now there's no formal proceeding of divorce and shit.
Once you sign a marriage contract, you
that's a debt contract
in the system. That's
Correct.
it. You have to follow the system's rules, regulations, and laws that are all detrimental to men, right? In Canada, about $100,000 to $160,000 marriages happen every year, right? So every time you sign one of those contracts, you have to pay $300 to the government, and then 60 to 75,000 divorces happen in Canada every year. Mm-hmm. So I'm guesstimating about $50 million in just paper that the government makes.
Correct.
Just on marriage certificate, divorce certificate. Mm-hmm. Why would you want to be part of that?
So let me ask you, to answer that question now, you said, would you get married again? The first thing I would say, does it say stupid on my head? Does it look like I'm stupid, what I'm doing? So the answer is yes, only in the eyes of God.
Yeah.
Right? Not on paper, ever.
Yeah. Fool me once.
I don't even think I'm going to ever live with a woman again, just to be very honest with you. Right? I don't like this arrangement of like a woman coming into your life and she gets to screw you up because at the end of the day, even with my current relationship or whatever, I'm the one making someone's life better. I'm the one paying the bills. I'm the one contributing for this. I'm the one. Mm-hmm. We don't expect that. All we demand is respect. And if you want to leave with respect. Right? But we don't even get that nowadays. Right? Like, we're not getting respect in the relationship. Our rights, let's say, our full rights. and it's only tied to something, it's conditional, right? So it's always conditional, right? Like, at least when they leave, you want to get respect.
Yes.
But that's never going to happen.
That's never that.
Right? So you have to protect yourself, called damage control. And I believe that, like, I see guys to this day getting married and shit, like, and going like, right, and they know me and they talk to me about this and they still go and do this shit. There's a guy in my group, he's like, he's seen all this. He's like, no, but I'm in love. I'm like, yo, my God, another victim.
It's the easiest way to destroy men.
100%.
Right?
Man.
And again, don't get me wrong. If you have nothing, if you make no money and you want to get married, what are you going to share? Your chopsticks? Well, you have nothing to lose, right? But if you are an entrepreneur, you want to be better, you want to be the better version of yourself every day, what are you doing sharing all that with somebody who is just there for the ride? And then they're going to wait at the finish line and they're going to say, hey, give me half, right?
But even as an entrepreneur, right? Like, again, for me, my business runs on losses every year. We claim losses every year. It's public information. So our business is a loss. And I like it that way. Good. There's nothing that I technically gain, right? It's a net loss business. It's basically a continuous loss for this year after year. But it feeds an entire generation of people and families while it's running. How does it make sense that a government can come impute income from it, because I don't take anything on my personal name, it just pays my bills, and gets to decide, well, we believe you make this? Because I know guys that go through that because they don't show up in their first case conference. That's why you have to show up in your first case conference. Some guys are so casual, like, oh, it's the first case conference, I'm not going to show up. Guess what? You don't show up, the judge will decide on what your income claim is based on your pictures on Instagram or your lifestyle, which is the most retarded shit ever, because none of these judges ever ran a business themselves. They get a salaried position. They don't know how to write a payroll check. None of these broads know what a payroll check is, right? They never ran an operation. What kind of businesses they do, running from their house, selling biscuits, selling Cricut-made shirts. They've never really ran a real business, right? Like, for example, you have 3 practices. You have employees, you have payroll, you have expenses, you have rent. You have leases on these buildings. And at the end of the day, business is a thing that's fluctuating. 1 month you could have a great month, and you could have 2 bad months. The one great month pays for those 2 bad months as well too. How can a judge or somebody decide that this is your steady income?
In my own case, it was just a guesstimation.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Because by the way, I have boxes and boxes and boxes of documents. I went through an audit, then I went through a forensic audit.
Yeah, I'm going through one right now.
Funny, because during the forensic audit, there was a 20,000 discrepancy, right? And I say, I don't know why the discrepancy. They say, well, show me this receipt, right? Guess what? The invoices were for blinds and windows that were put in the matrimonial home, the house that she actually kept. And because it was for her, they put it under the rug. It's like, oh, you know what? It doesn't matter. I said, but you said there was a discrepancy. Yeah. And you called me a liar. You found the $20,000. I told you where the money went, but now it doesn't matter, right? So, as I said, $40,000 for an audit, $70,000 for a forensic audit. Insane amount of money wasted, like really wasted. And in the end, even though I show the money, I show the paper trail, I show my T4, I show all the documents, we went through a mediation, and this 80 years old judge goes, in my opinion, in my experience, my guesstimation is that you make this much. I said, but that's so far from what I'm really making. Yeah. Oh no, believe me, I have friends who are dentists like you, and I know exactly how much you make. Just based on assumption. Yeah. I had to pay certain amount of money to.
But you can contest it, right? You've contested it, no?
You know what? I could contest it, but giving more money to lawyers and giving more money to the system was not my thing. I just wanted to cut it off. I say, you know what? This is it. This is more money than my kids are going to keep. Mm-hmm. This is less money that these lawyers are going to keep. Mm-hmm. This is less money that's going to go into the system over an argument that, yes, I could win, but it's going to take me another 3 years. Mm-hmm. I want to move on. And even though I wanted to move on, she didn't want to move on. And that's very important in a relationship. You come with the best intentions. You come with the best of the best intention to make it happen. If the other person changes her mind, because remember, you are one valid excuse to be on the street, literally to be on the street. So if that person doesn't want to be with you for whatever reason, we grew apart, I'm not in love anymore.
Yeah.
He is an asshole. Whatever they want to call you, guess what? They have the right to walk out of your life with 50% of everything you own.
That's craziness. Thank God I never owned a house with her. I rent to this day. I got lucky there. Because most of the stories are, most guys, what they're going through, they were the ones who were paying for the mortgaged home. Their wife cheated on them, let's say.
Yeah.
Kicked them out of the house. And he has to watch from the street, from the doorbell camera, other guys coming to screw his ex-wife in the mortgage that he's paying for with kids of his that are living in there.
I know 3 guys like that.
I know many guys like that.
Yeah.
Many, many guys, right? And that's why I never bought a home, because I was like, wait, I'm going to wait. I always to give the excuse, like, I'm going to wait, whatever. But I was smart, man. I don't want to, I just, I've learned something about people. A lot of people talk a lot of game. And even the shit, like, I remember, like, when I was with my ex, it'd be like, I love you no matter what. I'm like, that's not true. That's the biggest, dumbest thing you're going to say. If something happens, you're never going to love me. And guess what? Anything that ever happened, that's what happened, right? And love that, like, these people that claim is always conditional. So I was like, you know what? Wait and see how these moves are. And I always kept it at rent. And I don't believe in owning a house too because of mortgage. I believe in cash when you buy it. I'm a builder myself. So we build homes and we do stuff.
Oh, nice.
So I'm in construction, by the way. So we're the largest basement company in Ontario. We do about a couple hundred basements a year. And that's why I can build stuff like this quick. This was built in 2 days.
Nice.
Right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, like, we've built dental offices as well too.
Nice.
Yeah, we do renovations for pharmacies, dental offices, all that stuff. Yeah. The thing is, how can these men, for example, let's say if someone came to me before I got married and got my intention and said, you know what, you're going to go through this program of mine. These are the things on the other side I want to show you. That's going to happen to you. I would have paid even $10,000 for that, bro.
Brother, that knowledge that
do you understand what I'm saying?
That brother that knowledge that you're giving away to these brothers.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Today I'll pay you $50,000.
I know, but I'm saying even at that point, when I got married at 27, right? I'm 35 now. I would have paid $10,000 because I've seen the other side.
They might think it's expensive now.
I'm multiple 6 figures into this shit, right? And it's okay. I don't give a shit about money because, I'm a very self-dependent man. I've been on my own since 17 anyways. Everything I built was my own hard work. I don't come after no woman to take her money. Even if my woman was rich, I wouldn't ever go after her money because that's her money. Even my ex-wife, I never used to ask her how much money she made. She had her own money. I would help her get more money. When she was working a job, I helped her negotiate it to get more money from her bosses. And I said, keep your money. Anytime she would pay a bill, I'm like, no, I don't want that. I don't come after a woman's money.
No.
But it's just sad to see how some woman can affect. And the thing is, these women know our situations because they were with us. They know how hard we worked in these businesses to build these people up, these employees. And then you're going to come after, affect their lives. You're not just affecting my life. You're coming after me for vengeance while you're living in your mother's mansion. They're living in their mother's mansion, right? Everything paid for. And all this money that you're spending is going into this dumb shit. Yep. And you know how I know? So the law firm that my ex-wife is using, I built the basement for one of their lawyers.
Oh.
And the first thing that lawyers, and it's a big firm, very big firm. So the lawyer goes, he's like, yo, bro, you worth like a couple $100 million? Because I don't want to pay that kind of money in this basement. I'm a lawyer, but I'm not that rich. And I'm like, no, man, I'm worth like negative $700,000. He's like, then why is your ex-wife using us as the law firm? You know what I said? I said, I don't know, ask them. It's like, we're just going to milk our money. Like, the firm's just going to take our money. Like, our services aren't cheap. I'm like, well, that's up to you guys, right? That's not my business. I'm just here. And I ended up doing the basement for him. But it's crazy how, like, these people would go after something just for whatever's in their head.
Most of their answer is, I don't care. That's not my money. Mm-hmm. You're going to pay my legal fees.
Did you have to pay your ex-wife's legal fees?
Actually, I did.
You did?
Yeah. Well...
Was there an order put against you?
Indirectly. No, indirectly I did, right? Because I hired someone who I knew, he was kind of okay. Then I hired someone who wasn't that expensive. Mm-hmm. And I did not pay half of the legal fees that she paid.
Yeah.
Not even half.
How many case conferences did you have? How many court for your custody stuff?
Oh, custody was determined many years ago when the youngest was 1.5 years old, and at that time he needed more time with her and all that.
Yeah.
And now towards the end, I requested, hey, now we can do 50-50. Let's do it weekly. She simply said no, and my previous lawyer said, you know what? Don't even ask for it. You're gonna lose it. She will decide. The law will give her what she wants. I said, but I'm a good dad. Like, seriously, I don't know how to cook, but I can have a nanny to cook for them. You know?
How often do you see your kids? Every man thinks it won't happen to him until it does. You give your heart, your time, your money, and one day you realize that the system was never built for you. If you're a man living in the West, dating, married, or walking away from a marriage, you're playing in a game that's rigged against you. The Enlightened Man isn't just another course, it's a program and it's a blueprint for your survival. I've been through it myself, and I've coached many men who've lost everything and helped them rebuild stronger, smarter, and more dangerous. This program shows you how to protect your peace, your assets, and your freedom. It teaches you about the laws, the mindset, and the moves you need to win in a world that profits off your mistakes. Whether you're in a relationship or preparing for one, this will shift how you think forever. Become the man who can't be manipulated. Become the man who sees through this trap. Become the Enlightened Man today. Click the link in the bio or description, and I'll see you on the other side.
I often, we have a split 40-60, which is Mondays 3 to 7. That's it. Wednesdays overnight, and then every other weekend.
Okay.
And that's usually the most common kind of split that is given to busy guys.
To fathers.
Right?
To deadbeats. To deadbeats.
To deadbeats.
We're all deadbeats, no?
We're all deadbeats.
We're all deadbeats here. I always tell men, for the men that are watching that are scared of being called deadbeats, listen, man, we're all deadbeats. You know how I know this? Every ex that I ever slept with, the one thing I used to ask them if they had an ex-baby daddy or whatever, I used to be like, yo, where's the father of your kid? You know what the answer was? He's a deadbeat. Yeah. Back then I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe this is real or whatever. Now I realize I'm like, no, man, that poor guy tried his best and she kicked him out. And guess what? I was just that flavor of the month at that time.
Yeah.
And guess what? They're all deadbeats. Now I feel bad. I'm like, fuck, man. Like all these guys were deadbeats, right? So at the end of the day, don't fear this. We are all deadbeat central. It doesn't matter how much you do for your kids. It doesn't matter how much you love. You will always be called a deadbeat father. Remember this. Every broad said this to me.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I got over with. And for me, I don't know how much you know about our faith, but we're Muslim, right? So there's a thing called coming to acceptance, which took some time, right?
Oh, yeah.
It takes some time because, you were with somebody for so many years and then you get detached and now you have a daughter because I had a young daughter with this person. So for me, the hardest thing was my daughter. That's what they used against me to get me on these charges and whatever, the harassment charge or whatever. Because overly texting can be harassment. Anything is harassment now.
Yeah.
So my daughter, when I got that charge the second time when I was in jail cell, I made a prayer to God. I'm like, oh God, even if I don't see my daughter ever again, I'm okay in this world. I'm okay with it. I'm okay. Wow. As long as you raise her to be a good individual. That is more important for me than for me to just to see her. And if she turns up to be a good individual and then I see her in heaven, to me that's more accepting than to see her in this world not be a good individual and turn into something I don't want her to.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off. I made that prayer. And then I was at peace. Then I didn't even bug. And then 9 months later, I was able to see her from their side, brought it back. And I have my case conference coming up next month. Actually, the first one.
Well, in divorce, there are multiple stages, right?
Yeah. And I have my first case conference coming up now, the family one.
So there's an emotional, it's an emotional roller coaster. So if you guys are at the beginning of this, you will go through denial, you will go through grievance, you will go through pain, you will go through so many hard feelings. But believe me, you're going to get out of there, and in the end, you're going to accept it. When you accept that you lost your family, when you accept that you were screwed by the system, you will be able to actually move on
faster
and actually become better, become bigger. It's not a failure. For many, it's actually a good thing that happens sooner rather than later, because you will have more time to think about all the mistakes you made, and from now on, if you don't make them again, you will grow bigger, you will go better, and there's no better revenge than being better than when you were before.
Yeah, being more successful.
Yeah.
Right? Like being better and like I know for a fact, I mean, they're never going to admit this, but they try to break me, right? And I only did bigger things for this. Like, no, this guy tried to break this man, and guess what? He's only helping other men.
They all do.
Right?
They all do.
So it's like, I've become a better man through going through this. And I would go through this 100 times over just to see, even jail. I loved it. I actually loved it. I did 200 push-ups in jail. It was amazing, right? You go. I think every man should go to jail at least once, because once you don't have your phone, you don't have anything. You're in that 6x6. You turn into a whole different thinking machine. You see the end. Like, all this was born in jail, bro.
Nice.
This whole thing was. I didn't know anything about cameras. Didn't know anything. When I came out of jail, I was watching videos till 4 a.m, studying this stuff, how to do this, how to do that, how to do this, and then it came into fruition. But what would you say? Like, for example, you went through a divorce now, and you asked me this question about would you get married again? So let me ask you that question: would you ever get married again? By law?
Very hard, very difficult. I would need to be pushed somehow, because I really don't see the value. I'm sorry for those who are, getting married or planning a beautiful honeymoon and all that. I don't see, there's no incentive for me. I already have kids. Seriously, what's there for me? Other than a beautiful girl, I can get a beautiful girl without getting married, right? If that person really wants to be with you, there's no reason to get married.
Like, I'm talking about government marriage. You could do the Christian wedding if you're religious or whatnot.
Well, yeah, you can be loyal to someone, and you can say, you know what, and I'm going to sleep around. I'm going to take you. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to take care of you financially. We're going to go around the world. Yeah. If you have kids, I'm going to love your kids. The same way you're going to love my kids. Yeah. We're going to have a family, but I don't see the value of putting anything in between us. And when I'm talking about anything, it's like a government or the piece of paper that says, now you guys are allowed to be together. Because you don't really need it.
But so you said something important. You said, I'm going to be with somebody who has kids or whatever. But don't you think that a lot of these girls that come with baggage, they also are a problem too? They can't shut that baggage off. Right? And when a man says he has boundaries, he wants to have a 21-year-old, 22-year-old with no baggage, he's looked at like some pedophile. You get the pedophile word on you. You get pedo on you. Why? Men want young women because of innocence. It's nothing to do with her youngness and looks only. Yeah. Right? It's because the broads that have been through you 2-3 men before, and now they come to you, they have this unrealistic expectation now, and they have all this comparisons to do to that old man, to this man.
They have the history, and they have,
Like, how is that any beneficial to a man? And then when you try to tell broads this, like, yo, I'm not about this, they get mad. Oh, you don't want responsibility. It gets thrown back at you. You don't want to be responsible.
Yeah. I'm responsible with my own life.
But we never ask for anything in return. Yeah. Right?
That's the thing. We don't care if they work. We don't care how much money they make. Mm-hmm. We don't care if they're poor. We don't care if they come with rich family. None of that. We just take them over, right? And say, you know what? You now are going to be my girl. Yeah. And you should be proud of being my girl. Mm-hmm. And you should have gratitude. Because you would have never been in the place where you are now because you were with me, right? But that's not what society teaches them, right? Yeah. They teach them entitlement. Mm-hmm. Now that you have been with this person for 6 months, 2 years, now you're entitled to half of his shit. Like, how is that even possible? Yeah. Right? I think that's modern robbery, modern slavery.
100%. So what made you decide to write this book and enter this field of the manosphere? Like, what made you decide to come? I mean, you're a busy dentist. I'm a busy entrepreneur. I know my reasons. What was the reason that you decided to come on in the scene and start splashing knowledge and wealth to all the men out there?
Well, I'll be honest to you. When you get the book, the dedication, it was the book was actually dedicated to my 2 boys. Okay. Right. And I say, you know what? I need to leave something in writing because you don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of people don't know. Out of 10 suicides in North America, 9 are men. I know. 1 is a woman.
And most of them are because of a crazy woman.
And 30% of the homeless population, at least in Toronto, which are the guys that I kind of like interview, are as a result of a divorce. Mm-hmm. The guys that are on the street doing drugs are as a result of
A bad divorce,
a
yeah.
divorce, right? Funny, I was driving on the streets of Toronto, and there was this guy on the street, and he was begging. And my boy Roger goes, "Daddy, what do you think he's begging? What is his story?" I said, "You know what? Let's lower the window." I lowered the window and say, "Buddy, come over here. What are you begging?" He was like, "Actually, I used to live in Montreal. I got divorced, and I have no place to live. So you are as a result of a divorce." Yeah, I was being literally kicked out of my family's life.
Yeah.
So you know what? Thank you, sir. I gave you $5. I say, "You see that, Raj? Am I lying?" So I need you to listen to guys like that, because I was lucky because of my profession and because of my talent to do not end up like him.
Correct. But sometimes talented people end up like that too, because the mind is a sensitive spot, right? Like, we're tough men. For example, me, nothing breaks me, right?
Yeah.
Like, nothing breaks me. And especially now, buddy, send me to jail again. I'm here. Let's go, right? But the average guy who has a job, who hasn't been through enough challenges already in his life, he was so loyal and he was about this woman. Yeah, I can understand, man. I know guys like that, right? There's literally men on the street because of this issue, because the system is out there to get them, right? The system's out there to somehow screw them over, and these women feel entitled to it. Like, they don't feel bad about doing this. Like, if you sit with a shorty right now and tell her that this is what you're doing, they feel like this is their right. This is their stupid right to come after my business that I worked for, bro.
Yeah.
You never put in any sweat equity into this shit.
I'll tell you, this is a chain reaction, right? So there's a couple who has a couple of kids. The woman calls the cops. This guy's removed from his house. Now this guy has to move into a small studio, small apartment, even a bedroom. Now he wants to see his kids, and this woman is not giving him access.
Correct.
Because he doesn't have a place to bring these kids. But he doesn't have a place in the first place because she kicked him out of the place that he was paying for.
Correct.
So it's a chain reaction. Then this guy start doing drugs, and this guy start getting in trouble just because a divorce. So is it worth it?
So this book, what are the things you talk about in this book?
Well, I have many chapters, and it goes basically before, during, and after a divorce. So for you men that have gone through some harsh times and all that, what do I advise? Gym, reading books, get closer to God maybe, and try to build something new, make new relationships, join groups that are going through the same thing, right? During, if you really want to save it, be honest, communicate, right? Funny because one of the chapters is called 15 Stupid Things That Women Do to Lose Their Husbands. Right?
That's crazy.
So anyone that's going through a process of fighting or whatever, I recommend the book, because you will see yourself in the book, right? And before anything happens, I think there are many ways to save this, and there are many ways to solve this problem. If you're already let me call it stupid, because I think I can call it stupid at this point, right? If you're stupid enough to get married, right, at least do it while you're being protected somehow, right? The same day you're going to sign that marriage certificate, bring with you a prenuptial agreement and bring with you a cohabitational agreement, right? The prenuptial agreement will help you so they don't have access to what you had before the marriage. And then the cohabitational agreement, you're going to set out exactly what you want to give this person in case you guys break up. And that, my friends, will be the only way to stop this. You said the matrimonial home, we're going to sell it, we're going to divide it. I get 80%, you get 20%. None of that 50-50. That's BS, okay? The kids, you're going to keep the kid 50% of the time, I'm going to keep the kids 50% of the time. Capiche? So you're going to set out exactly what's going to happen in the future if you guys don't work out.
Correct.
And I'll tell you right now, if any woman is not a good woman and does not have good intention, that person would not sign
Correct.
that.
I agree with you.
And as soon as the person says, you don't trust me, you don't believe we're going to last a long time, he said, we're not getting married. You don't sign, we're not getting married.
100%.
As simple as that.
Yeah, I agree with you. So what do you want to see in terms of reform, in terms of the divorce law and the acts? Like you talked about to me off camera, what would you, for the men out there that are watching, what is your sort of like goal, or what would you like the government to change in this? Because we've been dealing with this feminist movement or whatever that's got us here.
Well, the first thing that I would like to see is the length of these divorces. It has to be a time limit to find a resolution, because in the process of a divorce, people commit crimes like killing. People kill themselves, and we're all humans, and we're going through a very devastating process, but no one really cares, right? One thing that I would love to see is paternity tests.
Yeah.
Mandatory paternity tests, right? If someone gets caught lying, a fine, $1,000. But hold on. Those fines are not going to the judge or to the court system. Let's put it in a trust in the kid's name. Right? Anything is related to punishing one of the partners, and if there is a fine involved, why should it go to the court system? Give it to the kids, right? Many reforms can be made, right?
Okay, cool. What would you advise a young man watching this, and he's watching, two uncles talking about this, because we're uncles, and a young guy looking up in today's modern world that we're living in, and seeing his friends go through this, seeing guys like us who can share a lot of wisdom, what would you advise them in terms of how to structure their life and how to go about this marriage conversation step by step? And should they legally get married or not? Or should they do it the way I told you, in their church or mosque or synagogue or whatever religious denomination? And how do they set up the finances? How do they set up everything in terms of trusts, bank accounts, and all that? What do you recommend?
Well, the first thing is that you shouldn't put anyone between you and your loved one. Mm-hmm. And when I talk anyone, the only person you should put in between the two of you is God. That's it, no one else. A document, a government would not help in any way. If anything, they're going to benefit from your demise.
Correct.
Right? So having a cohabitational agreement, having a prenuptial agreement, make sure that you're protected. Yes, you're signing for life, but you don't know. Really, you don't know. Right? Mate selection is a very important aspect of the length of the marriage, right? So if you don't know how to select a woman, instead of flirting, learn how to filter, because that will get you a better woman, right? So when you go out there and you find this hot, beautiful girl, always find out, what is she all about? Her past relationships, her body count. Mm-hmm. Is she always at clubs? Is she into drugs? So filter. And yes, you're going to let go beautiful women, but those beautiful women could become Medusas. And the modern Medusas can call the police on you for no reason, empty your bank accounts. I explain all that could happen to you in my book.
Well, doctor, I really appreciate you coming out here, straight from work. Came from Toronto. I really appreciated your time and everything. With that being said, we're going to end the podcast. And if you guys want, you can grab a copy of his book. Where can the audience find your book?
Amazon, actually.
So Amazon.ca, and it's basically Before the Tsunami. I got it up there as well.
Yes.
Available on Amazon. And you have the hard copy and Audible version too?
Yes.
And you're the one talking in the Audible?
No, it's actually a 64-year-old guy who also went through a divorce.
Okay. So he wrote.
It sounds very good.
Okay, beautiful. With that being said, guys, we had Dr. Roger here. I really appreciate him coming on this podcast. If you guys like our videos, like the content, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And do you have Instagram for this as well too, or no?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so you guys can follow him on Instagram as well. I'll put the link in the description. That being said, take care. Every man thinks it won't happen to him until it does. You give your heart, your time, your money, and one day you realize that the system was never built for you. If you're a man living in the West, dating, married, or walking away from a marriage, you're playing in a game that's rigged against you. The Enlightened Man isn't just another course, it's a program and it's a blueprint for your survival. I've been through it myself, and I've coached many men who've lost everything and helped them rebuild stronger, smarter, and more dangerous. This program shows you how to protect your peace, your assets, and your freedom. It teaches you about the laws, the mindset, and the moves you need to win in a world that profits off your mistakes. Whether you're in a relationship or preparing for one, this will shift how you think forever. Become the man who can't be manipulated. Become the man who sees through this trap. Become the enlightened man today. Click the link in the bio or description, and I'll see you on the other side.